Hi, I'm Joselyn. I'm 16, so I've been doing this teenager thing for a little bit now, and I can confidently say it is not as easy as I thought it would be. As teenagers, our self-esteem and what other people think about us is really important. The idea of being perceived and the fact that everyone has all these different perceptions of you is kind of overwhelming. I mean, I'm being perceived by all of you right now, and it's kind of freaky when I think about it. I'm Latina. I'm the daughter of 2 immigrants from El Salvador and Mexico. I also identify as bisexual, and I'm a woman. As a little kid, all those things don't really matter to you. You're definitely not questioning it yet. As little kids, we also don't get introduced to the fact that prejudice is real. You know, adults treat racism, sexism, homophobia, classism, and really everything else like a taboo. Eventually, we all start going up a bit more. I'm getting really, really excited for middle school. I'm getting a locker, new friends, new teachers. My parents let me get social media. The 2016 election is coming up. Everything is happening all at once, and I began to realize that a lot of who I am can be perceived in a negative way by some people. You know, I heard Mexicans, because they clump all Latinos as Mexicans. They're all illegal, bringing in drugs, stealing our jobs. They're all rapists and violent. The LGBTQ community doesn't deserve marriage equality, let alone adoption rights. They're all sinners going to hell, and they're shoving it in our faces. Women shouldn't have a say over what they do with their bodies. They shouldn't dress a certain way, or they were asking for it. Their bodies are weak. They're distractions. I'm hearing this, and I questioned, is this how people see me? Is this who I am? It's not, and I know it's not. But my 12, 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old brain just can't let go of it. So I catch myself second-guessing a lot. Hey, maybe don't compliment her. Maybe this outfit's a little too masculine, but don't wear anything too girly. You don't want to give off the wrong idea. Maybe wait until you're outside to speak Spanish. Straighten your hair and don't wear those hoops. Stop voicing your opinion so loud and aggressive. All those things don't really matter. They're not defining qualities of my person. But I want to be able to do everything I can to make sure I'm not put in a negatively labeled box that I don't want to be in. I don't want to be another ugly stereotype. My sophomore year, I came back from winter break with a fractured foot. It's always a really good conversation starter. Everyone wants to know what happened. I had to wear a boot, and I hated this boot. It made my height all uneven, and my foot still hurt a lot. So I've got nothing else to do. I'm complaining. The person next to me asks me, hey, why don't you get one of those medical scooters? I told them it really wasn't in my family's budget. Christmas just passed, and it was a minor fracture. I didn't need it. They looked at me, and in the most straightforward voice, they said, "Oh yeah, you're Mexican." I'm sitting there, I'm waiting for the punchline, oh haha, just kidding, and it never comes. I realized that they assumed I couldn't afford it because I was Latina. I felt like my whole ethnicity just got slapped in the face with the word poor. And there's nothing wrong with being financially unfortunate. But the last thing I wanted to be seen as is something society looks so down upon. I kept wondering if my peers just labeled me as poor. Was it what I was wearing, or just my ethnic features that I can't change? Gender and sexuality are just a whole different spectrum. I figured out I was bisexual when I was around 12. I never actually officially came out. If people asked, I'd tell them, but I didn't do a big announcement or a social media post or put it on like a cake or anything, so I guess this is it. With my sexuality, I had a really hard time accepting it. I had friends that had been discriminated against, and they were called slurs, and I was just really afraid of what people were gonna think. I didn't want them to think I was doing anything wrong. I didn't want them to think I was, going against a bunch of beliefs I was raised on. I've always been more feminine presenting, which has worked to my advantage, but to be publicly out with a girl is something I'd probably have trouble with. Every once in a while you hear that another same-sex couple got jumped or possibly even murdered. With my femininity, though, I feel like people see femininity as an invitation to sexualize people. It's not, at all, but, as little girls, it's really common to hear, hey, that's a little too short, or, maybe cover up. I remember the first time I got dress coded. I came to school that day, I was about to go into second period, and before I could even sit down, I was told to go to the office. I, to this day, still do not think I deserve to be dress coded. I was wearing an off-shoulder top, but I had a tank top underneath, and it went down to my fingertips. I came to school that day really confident. I felt really, really pretty, and I had it taken away from me because I was showing my shoulders. Having to walk around school in PE clothes for the rest of the day is honestly kind of humiliating. I kept wondering what my teachers thought. Did they think I was a bad kid now because I got dress coded? Were my peers wondering what I was wearing? I got my whole outfit dress coded, it must have been bad. I was extremely uncomfortable, and I just kept questioning what was so sexual about a seventh grader's body. The hardest part about my identity is when it crosses paths. The Latin community, for the most part, is really traditional, typical, men should only marry women, gay people are sinners, life should be devoted to God, women should be modest, cook, clean, watch the kids. Personally, I wouldn't want to live my life like that. But, I see this community that I'm comfortable in. I feel secure because we share the same ethnicity. We share the same experiences, traditions, ideals. They're family for the most part. But then it comes into question of, will they actually accept me? When we're all together, it's really common to hear misogynistic jokes. A lot of the women have a lot of internalized misogyny. Or someone will bring up the gay people topic, and for the most part, it's homophobic. So I sit there and I question, do I call them out? Or will that cause me to accidentally come out to my entire family? I came out to a family member once. It was a really impulsive decision, but it was bittersweet. They didn't treat me any different after, and honestly, they never really brought it up. But I was really nervous because they taught me everything I knew about religion. I told them, and at the end of it, they told me that I should just pray to God. I look back, and I think it's kind of funny. What a bold statement to say to a vulnerable teenager in your car. But at the time, I was having a really, really hard time with my sexuality. So I took a few steps back. I kept wondering if they thought I was terrible now. I kept wondering if this godlike figure I've always been told to look up to, I've always been told loved me and created me for who I am, now thought I was terrible and needed to be fixed. It left me questioning everything I knew about my beliefs and my sexuality. Was I doing something wrong? My identity as a whole has brought me a lot of pain and self-esteem issues. I hear people say just blatant judgmental comments, and I really question how you could hate a whole community based off stereotypes and misconceptions. To anyone who is or has struggled with their identity, I'm really proud of you. It's hard, I know, it's really hard, but it's okay. I've come a long way, and I still got some way to go, but for now, I think I'm pretty cool, and I'm happy with that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Thank you.